at the Lamport Stadium in front of all the cardboard cutouts and all the beer garden and a few people in flat caps. Toronto Wolfpack representing the future. They've got somebody cruelly described Featherstone as being a town stuck in the 80s. I think that's a bit harsh. 70s.
What, a bit harsh on the 80s?
Featherstone Rovers at Toronto Wolfpack. A game in which, when you started your career, Scully, you could never have imagined that we'd be talking about Toronto versus Featherstone. But here we are, for a new team in Super League. One of the oldest clubs versus one of the.
Well, I'll tell you what. You asked many of the Featherstone fans and saying you're going to go to Toronto in two. If you had said to the Featherstone fans when they won the Challenge Cup against Hull back in 1983, and in 2019 you're going to be going to Toronto to qualify for the big league, they would have been thinking you'd been on the sauce. Don't worry about that. But this journey with Featherstone, it started at Leigh, then it went to York, then it went over to France to Toulouse from there, and they're on this journey, and they are enjoying this journey. They're doing it with a smile on their face. There's no pressure on them. All the pressure is on the Wolfpack, and moving for sure, Featherstone won't be going there thinking, yeah, look at that team sheet and think, no, we can't beat these. Featherstone won't be lacking in desire. Featherstone won't be lacking in purpose. Featherstone won't be lacking in enthusiasm. They know for 80 minutes this Toronto side are only human, and if they put pressure on them, can they handle that pressure? The problem is the quality of what Toronto have got, and certainly as Phil's said a few times this year regarding Brian McDermott, he will be taking all the pressure off these players. They brought in a player as well this year of Toronto in John Wilkin to get him over this step, to get him over that white line. The journey for Featherstone has been brilliant, but I just feel as though the Wolfpack, too much quality, too much experience at this level. Maybe a game too far for Featherstone. I don't think they will get hammered, not one little bit, because they will play for the full 80. But I just feel as though Toronto have got too much quality, and I'll go Toronto by 12.
I think this is where the week off comes in and is an advantage, and that Featherstone's journey has been majestic. Not only have they won away from home, but they've got better every week. I thought the display at Leigh would take some beating, but the dismantling of York and never gave Toulouse a look in this week. They are getting better and better, and I've absolutely no doubt that the more you say to them you can't do something, the more they'll be determined to do it. So flying out on a Thursday for a game, it won't faze them at all. And the way that they've played in the playoffs, they've shown that quality as well. But I've just got a feeling that Toronto might start this game in the way that St Helens started against Wigan this week because of the week off. That they have been priming themselves for this 80 minutes, and they've got two things that work to their advantage. One is, as you say, the Brian McDermott factor, because the one thing he will do, he'll come up with a game plan. He'll have assiduously studied Featherstone, he'll have picked a couple of things, and he will give his team a game plan that might be completely different to the way they've played all this year. But what he'll say is, if you do this for 80 minutes, you'll be successful. The other thing, I think, is the fact that they are carrying the memory of last season. And I don't think they underestimated London in any way whatsoever. And I don't think that you can take anything away from that London performance, because to restrict Toronto to not even score a try when they'd been so free-spirited for much of that season before said everything about London. But it also said that Toronto froze on the day. And I think they will learn from that. They will not be intimidated by the fact that at the end of this 80 minutes is everything that they've been striving for. And because of that, I don't think it's anything to do even with the respective quality of the two teams. I think you can make a case for saying that man for man, Featherstone have got what they need to beat Toronto. I just think that the cards are stacked in Toronto's favour. And I think they'll win, and they'll win by 12, and Featherstone will be cheered off the field by the Toronto fans for their contribution.
What it's going to be like in Toronto on Saturday night? Brian McDermott's the big thing, isn't it? Oh, it's going to be sunny. 13 degrees, no snow, that's the good news. Brian McDermott knows how to win big games, because he won all them with Leeds. It's a tricky one for Featherstone, isn't it? Because obviously they want to go up, obviously they want to win. But if they're in the Championship next year, they still have a Joe Reg with Leeds. They still have access to those players and whatever.
And they don't have Toronto in the division, so they've got actually more chance of getting promoted next year.
I can think of at least two Super League clubs who would love Featherstone to be in the division next year. for the fans they bring to the fixtures. Might mean different fixtures on there. Good Friday as well. Bring back Wakefield and Fev. Well, I don't think it's going to happen because Toronto have been geared up knowing that they would be in this game all season. And unfortunately for Featherstone, it will end here. Toronto by 12.
We've all gone the same.
All
Toronto
dreams
by
die.
12, eh?
Oh, see all the optimism that
But
Featherstone
again,
back.
but again, if Featherstone win, it's a great
Brilliant.
story.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And they can't lose, can they? Whether they win or lose at the weekend, they can't lose.
That's why I say they'll get cheered off, because I think the Toronto fans, in the euphoria of their team celebrating, will acknowledge the contribution that Featherstone have made and will take them to their hearts.
And as
They
someone else,
won't be buying a drink all weekend.
as someone described it, this is the playoff to play Wakefield in the first game of the season next season, because that's always.
The other interesting thing, which we'll talk about next week when we know the result, because it's immaterial until we do, is where will Toronto play some of their early season games if they're in Super League next year? Will we be going to Barcelona? Will we be going to Copenhagen? Will we be going to Amsterdam? Because they're talking about going on the road.
Dublin, Rotterdam.
Well, it'd be interesting. It's there's no point talking about it until you know if they've achieved it, but it changes the dynamic a little bit of what Super League might look like.